So I'm going to show you my great shame. See the headrest spot here? I'm thinking maybe not such a good idea to just use this as a bit of a shelf, because last night while I was sleeping, I put my glasses on this and it fell down somehow in my sleep and I rolled on it, and now, I don't know if you can tell, but it is bent AF. So aside from my suspicious housekeeping habits, today I thought it'd be cool to talk about something that has been happening to me. It's been happening over the past couple of years, but it just occurred to me to talk about it. Basically, I've been crying, guys. I have been crying. Alright, hey guys, welcome to the video. My name is Jeremy. The other day, I went out to watch Demon Slayer Mugen Train with my friends, and that anime flick movie is amazing, by the way. Really should watch it. But here's the thing. Throughout the duration of the movie, I cried so many times. Like, it just wouldn't stop flowing. There were scenes where people died. I cried. There were scenes of people who I already knew dead, like flashbacks of family stuff. I still cried. And this is not the first time it's happened. I find that over the years, I have been crying at movies just a little bit more than I normally would. I was watching New Amsterdam, which is my new guilty pleasure on Netflix. Whew, at the end of that first season, man, waterfalls. Not just that, start up a K-drama, and in the first episode, you get to watch the dad die. When that happened, I cried. And I just couldn't control it. It's the weirdest thing. As you're watching, I just feel my eyes get wetter and puffier, and my face just gets all... You know how when you're about to cry and your face just kind of seems really bloated from all the water that's gonna come out of it? And after you're done, it's just so exhausting, man. It's been happening more and more in recent years. And this is interesting because I've never been the kind to cry. It was my favorite thing in the world to make fun of my mom, who cries when she watches shows. Hey, you crying Why you cry? Don't cry lah. Ha, you crying? Waterfall. Ha, you cry. It's at these moments that I ask myself, how well do I truly think I know who I am? So my attempts at understanding this phenomenon for myself, why am I suddenly crying, I decided to do a really quick, simple Google search as to why we cry at the movies in general. And according to the science, it's because it's got to do with our brains releasing oxytocin, which is the chemical in your brain that kind of regulates empathy. And in certain research, they found that women have more oxytocin release than men in general, which leads to them actually being more empathic. I think the word's empathic. They just have more empathy than men. So the way I look at it, the only reasonable explanation for why I went from a non-crier to a crier is over the course of the past 3 or 4 years, I have somehow developed more empathy. And that empathy has kind of led me to being a movie crier, a crier at the movies. And here's the thing, right? I have to admit that when I started crying while watching a movie, I was feeling a little bit embarrassed about the fact that I was crying at these fictional, non-real characters like Demon Slayer, all animated, TV show, all actors. My brain knows this, but I still felt pulled into it. And the way society works, for the most part, is that men are told not to show vulnerability or cry. And even though I try to be as liberal as understanding about these phenomena, I think there's probably some programming in the back of my head that I kind of held on to on a subconscious level that was no, Jeremy, even though it's okay for other people to cry, you should not be the one crying, for you are better than that. And I guess there was a little embarrassment over the fact that, well, apparently I'm not better than that. And now that I've kind of sat and thought these things through, it's true, there really is no reason to be shy about crying or crying at the movies. It's one of those things we know, but it's so hard to allow ourselves that ability, especially if you're a guy. Because we think of crying as a weak thing, but it really isn't. it's actually a sign that you're pretty strong in your ability to understand what another person is going through. And if we had more of that in the world, I imagine the world would be a better place. But you know what this means for me, right? Every time I watch a drama, I have to make sure I got tissue. That just gets messy, guys. And that's it. That's the video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this made you feel a lot more comfortable about letting the waterworks flow. Also, what I want to know is share in the comments below what scenes from what TV show or movie made you cry last. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye! You're less likely to be a horrible person if you understand how your actions are going to affect another person. And that comes from empathy.